Hello friends, welcome to Coding Host YouTube channel. In this video, I will explain a jigs for jigs problem. Move all negative elements to end. So in this question, we will get an unsorted array ARR of size n having both negative and positive integers. So what we have to do is we have to place all negative elements at the end of the array without changing the order of positive element and negative element. So in the example 1, you can see that we have an array in which we have 8 elements. So right now all these negative and positive elements are scattered in this array. So you can see that if we take positive elements, so first positive element is 1, then 3, then 2, 11 and 6. So they have maintained this order. And for the negative elements, first negative element is -1, then -7, then -5. So they have stored all the negative elements in the end without changing the order. If you scroll down in the question, you can see that expected time complexity will be big of n, expected auxiliary space will be big of n. So in the question, if they tell us to move the negative elements in the end of the array without maintaining the order, so that time we do not have to take any extra space, we can do in big of 1 space. But in this question they have told us that we cannot change the order of the positive elements and negative elements. So it means that we have to take extra space in this question. So let's write the program. So in the question, first we will make two array list of integer. Array list of integer, I will name it as POS. So it's mean that positive. So I am making this array list for storing the positive elements. After that I will make the next array list for storing the negative elements. I will name it as neg. Then I will take a for loop for int I equal to 0 and I less than n and I plus plus. So in this variable n we are getting the size of the array. Then here I will take if statement. If any element is larger than 0, so it's mean that that element is positive element. So we will add that element in the positive array list. Pos dot add array of I. Then in the else part, so it's mean that if that element is not a positive element, so that element will be the negative element. So we will add that element in the negative array list. Then after that I will take two variables, int size1 equal to pos dot size. In this variable I am storing the size of the positive array list, and then I will take a variable size2. So in this size2 variable I will store the size of the negative array list. So after that I will take a for loop. So first we have to store the positive element. I will take this for loop for int I equal to 0 and I less than size1 and I plus plus. So before this for loop we also have to take one more variable. So int a equal to 0. So I have taken this a variable for getting the index for this array. So in this for loop I will write like this: array of a equal to pos dot get I, and I will increment this a variable, so a plus plus. After that I will take one more for loop for storing the negative elements. So here I will write size2, and here I will change the array list name to negative. I will write here negative. And now let's run this program. So there was a mistake in the array list syntax. We have to write here new, and we have to remove integer from here. Now let's run this program. So you can see that now this program is working fine. Our output is equal to the expected output. Now we will see how this program will work. So you can see that we have taken here two array list. One is for positive element and one is for negative element. Then I have taken this for loop. So this for loop will start from index 0. So I is 0. So at index 0, element is 1. So element is positive. Yes. Then it will store this 1 in the positive array list. So in this array list we will get 1. Then I plus plus, so I will become 1. Now at index 1 we have -1. So -1 is negative. So then it will store this negative element in the negative array list. So in the negative array list we will get -1. Then I plus plus, so I will become 2. At index 2 element is 3. So it will store this element in the positive array list. So same will happen for 2, 11 and 6, and the remaining negative element -7 and -5 will stored in the negative array list. So here we get -7 and -5. After that I have taken two variables. So size 1 is for positive array list, so its size is 5. Then size 2 is for negative element, so its size is 3. So you can see that after that I have taken a variable a equal to 0. So a is starting from 0, and in this for loop I is also starting from 0. So I is also 0. So in this first for loop we are storing the positive elements in the array. So in the positive array list at index 0 element is 1. So we will store this element 1 in the array at index a, and a is 0. So in the array at index 0 we will get 1. Then a will increment, so a will become 1, and I plus plus, so I will also become 1. Next element is 3 in the array list, so then it will store this 3 in the array at index 1. So after that we will get 3. So until I is less than size 1, so it will store all this element back in the array. So after the 3 we will get 2, 11 and 6, and after that this first for loop will break, and till the ending of this for loop this variable a will become 5. So now it has become 5. Now this next for loop will also start from index 0, and it is for negative array list. So at index 0 in the negative array list we have -1, and we will store this element in our array at index a, and a is 5. So at index 5 we will store -1, then we will store -7, and in the last we will store -5. So you can see that now we have stored all these elements, and positive elements are in the start and negative elements are in the end of the array, and they are in the same order. So you can see that we are using here single for loops, so that's why time complexity of this program will be big of n. And here we are using two array list, but in this both array list we are storing the total elements which we have received in the array, so that's why space complexity is also big of n. Now let's submit the program. So you can see that this program has submitted successfully. Thanks for watching.